Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2019 and part 5 of our Williams career mode. In today's episode, we take on the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. And, well, it's not something I've been particularly good at in the past, to be perfectly honest with you. But, hopefully with our upgraded Williams, everything will be alright. If you look at the R&D in progress, we've got plenty of stuff coming for Spain, and we've already made huge leaps up towards the back of Alfa Romeo, which will hopefully mean that we can push on in the sort of next stretch of the season and hopefully compete with these guys a bit more, and maybe be battling for points. That would be fantastic. But first of all, we have the small matter of qualifying.
The circuit has rubbed it in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan.
On the couple of mile long straight, I think it is, absolutely insanely long straight, 1.4 kilometers. I'm not entirely sure how long it is, but it's certainly the longest in F1 by a long way, and we're coming up to the line, and it's not a very good lap. Not a very strong lap. That's a 1:45 flat. Certainly be looking for better than that. Here we come then. As you can see, we're already 2 seconds up on our previous time. We're coming up to the line now. DRS wide open. We're 2 seconds up. What's it going to be? Oh, to 1:42. That's 10th. Wow, that is an incredible lap. I'm going to turn everything down after that one and have a course home. That might be enough to get through Q2. What an excellent lap that was. We dragged everything out of it. Whew.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Well, can you believe it? Both Williams cars through to Q2. The upgrades have worked a treat, and obviously our superior straight line speed to the guys around us has served us well. I mean, look at those times, neck and neck with George Russell, so it wasn't a fluke, my time. That was the ultimate pace of the car. Going out in Q1 then, we've got Weber, Sainz, Norris, Devon Butler and Kimi Räikkönen. So Kimi Räikkönen well off the pace of Lucas Weber so far. Daniel Ricciardo very close to going out in a second consecutive Q1. Well, if we show that sort of pace in Q2, who knows? We could be through to Q3. Whew. Nearly went into the wall there, but here we go. We're coming up to the line. I've decided to have just one go at it. What is it going to be? I tell you what, it's going to be a fairly competitive time. It's a 1:42, and oh, that's 11th. Well, goodness me. That is close, but we're not going to get any better than that. We're starting in 11th for tomorrow's race, which I don't think is too bad. Freedom of tyre choice, and well, I mean, that is just an unbelievable qualifying session. I don't know where Russell is. Well, maybe sort that out now. Let's have a little look.
Their best lap time is a 1:44.1.
Wow, so 1.2 seconds off the pace then is George this time. We're down to 12th now, so people are improving. I wonder if Russell's going to be one of those. He's coming across the line now, I think. Yeah, I don't think he's going to improve. Certainly not drastically. But yeah, you know, at least sort of 14th, 13th tomorrow. I mean, that's an unbelievable achievement. I did not expect that going into this weekend, and pace through free practice did not suggest that we would be that quick. But ooh, nearly went into the wall there. But no, very, very pleased with that. So we'll wind out this lap. Just thought I'd look after the tyres a little bit better than the AI probably, because these are possibly the tyres we're going to start on tomorrow. I can't remember what our time was in Q2, whether that's slower, quicker, or whatever. But the pace is genuine. The pace is definitely genuine. Here we go. Wonderful. Yeah, we'll just return to garage and then that'll be it. So there you go. Bottas is quickest in Q2. We weren't that close actually in the end. We were 4/10 off getting through to Q2. 7/10 quicker in the end than George Russell, which I think is an amazing achievement. And we're going to start 12th tomorrow. And both Williams through to Q2. Wasn't expecting that by race 4. But we'll hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson to take us through this Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience. But some of these guys in Formula One have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Kevin Magnussen, and Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Gasly, the captain, and Daniel Ricciardo, Albon, Russell, Sergio Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Faber, Sainz, Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Devon Butler, Stroll, and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
Right then, here we are down on the track. Sorry, I was miles away there. We'll stick a lap and a bit in once again. I think that worked out quite nicely last time. We are starting on the soft tyres and moving on to the medium tyres after how many laps? 5 laps. So that should be fine, hopefully. A 13 lap race, of course, and we are starting in P9. We have moved up the grid because of penalties for Verstappen and Perez, and somebody else it must have been as well. I can't quite remember.
Any technical issues coming from practice start? Watch the RPM on a full start. We don't want to bog down.
But yeah, looks good. Looks like we're in a good position for this race. Starting in the points, you know, it's going to be tough to stay here, obviously. We know our power deficits, to say the least. You know, we had to pull out an incredible lap in qualifying to get as high up as we did. We can't put in 13 qualifying laps all Grand Prix, but we'll try our best. You know, obviously, there's a big long straight. As long as we can stay close to somebody, we might be able to be pulled along. You know, maybe by Gasly, for example, who's only qualified in 8th place. So very poor performance from him, really. especially considering there's been a couple of penalties, so
Conditions looking good.
just need to be careful. Oops. Oop, well that could have went badly. Right. So we won it on Rich, I think. And on hot lap for the start of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I'm nervous, very nervous. It's very tough to have a clean start here, I think. We could well be swamped. I'm trying to get these tyres and brakes as hot as possible. And there we go. So it's all up to the AI driver now. He's weaving in and out, and hopefully do one more burnout as we go onto the grid. But relatively new tyres. Obviously only the one lap done on them. They've been scrubbed obviously, which does increase their hardness a little bit as well. But lining up, two Ferraris lock out the front row, followed by the Mercedes cars, and then we've got Magnussen in 5th, Hulkenberg 6th, Grosjean 7th, Gasly 8th, Ware 9th, Ricciardo 10th, Russell in 12th. So this is going to be an exciting start. But here we go. Lights out, away we go. Here in Baku, it's not the best start at all from us. I'm going to hold it nice and slowly round the first corner. We're down to 11th, which isn't the best start for us in the world, but we are going to have a look down the inside of Albon. Oh, I thought we were going to go into the wall there with him, but it's not the best start, but we've at least kept our front wing, which would have been as a disaster if we lost that, but we managed to go down the inside of Albon there, back into the points in 10th place. And now it's just going to be a case of having to hold on to Ricciardo for the rest of this lap, and you know, we've got decent straight line speed round here with the Mercedes engine, so hopefully we'll be able to stick with him, if not pass him on the straight. But everybody's going to have a slipstream except the poor bloke at the front, so lots could change in this Baku Grand Prix as we go throughout this first lap. But a nice clean start. Well, there goes Albon. We've run out of energy on that first lap.
Start to have fuel management issues. Let's see if we can use this to our advantage over the next few laps.
So managed to get back past Albon. Apparently the car behind, whether that be Albon or the car behind him, which I think is Russell, is going to have fuel management problems, so maybe they've underfueled the car. So hopefully we'll be alright, but there's a bit of squabbling going on up ahead. Just trying to keep it nice and clean.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Well, look at this squabble up ahead. The two Hasses and two Renaults. Gonna have a little look at Nico Hulkenberg, but just hold back for now. There's no point losing a front wing. Try to undercut him there, that's not gonna work. Two cars definitely don't go into this corner. So we're sticking close to the cars in front. I think we are going to pit on this lap though. Try and get a bit of an undercut, which might work out rather well for us. If we can certainly stay this close. Albon's having a little look though. Down the inside, we're just trying to keep it clean. There goes Albon. We need these to get out of the way as we come into the pit lane, and so do other people. So there will be no undercut this time of the guys in front. We make our pit stop on lap 4, well, start of lap 5 of this Grand Prix. Now then, quickest team. Go! Oh, well, we were held up there.
Pit strategy complete.
I think that's just a warning. It wasn't quite a penalty, so we're all right.
George is coming in for his stop.
Well, here we come. Here's all the folks in the pit lane. How's it gonna work out for us with this undercut? Well, I don't know. We're ahead of Weber, but he wasn't anywhere near the battle, really. So I think we've lost out pretty badly, actually. Because we were right behind the Hulkenberg-Grosjean battle, but...
Reduce ERS deployment.
You know, at the very least we're ahead of our teammate, but it'd be disappointing if we don't get any points now. Oh, we've somehow come out behind Albon. So the early pit stop has really not worked out for us. Got DRS on him though. Should be able to hold it around the outside. We drifted it round there. But we are through. Back up into 11th place now. It's a bit gutting. I'm assuming there's a couple of hard tyre runners up ahead that haven't pitted yet. Clogging the system up. Well, George Russell is out of the race. That's such a shame. Sort of puts an end to our strong weekend as a team and strong reliability as well so far. But no sort of reason. Meanwhile, we'll wind that back. I'm going to blame George Russell on that one. No sort of reason as to why he has dropped out of the race, but presumably nothing for us to think about at this point. There's Raikkonen in the pit lane. He's coming out of it, I think. Are we going to come out in front of him? That's the question. Yes, we are. So we're back up into 10th and, you know, 1 point territory, which is very, very good, to be honest. Very, very good. I'm really happy with that. And we seem to have the pace over Albon. It's just going to be whether these tyres hold off now and whether we can hold on to 10th place, which would be our 2nd point of the season, and I think an amazing achievement, really.
This is your final lap of the race.
So we're on to the final lap, and it looks like we are going to finish in 10th place. Raikkonen and, well, Verstappen actually is the car behind us. Hopefully he's not 3 seconds quicker than us over a lap, which he probably is. So it might get close. There has been a yellow flag incident. I'm not entirely sure what has happened. Has somebody retired, or I don't know. I don't know what's happened behind. We're just, yeah, Perez is out, so another retirement from this Grand Prix. But yeah, it looks like we are going to finish in 10th place, which is an amazing achievement, really. We've just sort of coasted these final few laps. I think the cars behind have been fighting, and we've just sort of been in no man's land, taking it nice and easy through this castle section. We don't want to lose our front wing or whatever on this final lap. But Sebastian Vettel has won his 2nd Grand Prix in a row, so it's 2s each for him and Lewis Hamilton this season. It's going to be a very interesting title fight. We nearly binned it there. We are struggling on these tyres on this final lap.
10.3 seconds.
You can see we've lost a second already this lap, so I'm glad we're not racing another lap. But here we are, we're going to come up to the line now. Might as well get rid of the rest of our ERS deployment, and we're going to come up to the line and finish 10th place, which will be our second point of the season. That is fantastic.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So let's review the updated driver standings. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Kimi Räikkönen is my standout today. Nothing you could construe as showboating, just an incredibly consistent performance out on track.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Our championship leaders retain their position, but their lead is shrinking. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Well, another point in this year's World Championship. Lewis Hamilton finishes on the podium behind Charles Leclerc in second. The championship standings, we haven't looked at those for a while. Lewis Hamilton is leading the way by 4 points over Sebastian Vettel. Bottas is in third with Leclerc in fourth. Gasly is ahead of Verstappen at this point of the season. Hulkenberg in his usual position of seventh. And we've got Magnussen and Ricciardo following him. And we are up to 14th in the standings at the moment with 2 points, the last of the point scorers. Constructors' standings then, Williams up to 7th at the moment. I don't think that's going to be how it stays. Toro Rosso and Alfa are surely going to score points at some point as well as McLaren. So let's continue on and see what on earth is going to happen. I assume we're going to get another media interview or whatever. Here we are.
Let's have your take on it. You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip or did you just misjudge some corners? Do you have any comments about the collisions?
Impossible questions.
Well, thanks anyway.
You can't answer them without, making somebody unhappy, so yeah, just not going to answer those. Makes sense. Right. Obviously, it's a track where you sort of scrape the wall a lot, really. So you're always going to get those questions. But we've done all right. We're certainly leading both rivalries. Certainly George Russell by a lot, which is good. Got plenty of resource points as well, which is excellent. So, and team goal bonus as well, which is wonderful. So we're over 1,000 there, finished 14th or better. Wow, that was an easy goal. There you go. I think we did that in both races.
Excellent.
Oh, contractor negotiations.
Good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
So that's our current contract. Let's have a little look.
It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
I think that should be fine.
Okay.
There you go.
Proposal looks
Well
good.
done.
It seems all parties are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
I'm happy with that. Let's go on a week. I forgot to do some more upgrades. Never mind. We've got plenty coming for this Grand Prix anyway. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any drivers have moved. They can freely move around. I'm not sure they will have after 4 races, but they may have. And we can certainly have a little look and see if that has been the case. So, I mean, I'm assuming that pretty much everything will be the status quo, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. I do fancy moving to Haas at some point. Maybe not this season, but we'll see. So let's have a little look at the messages. So goals update. So what's that? Finished 16th or better. Well, that's going to be easy enough, isn't it? That's a preview for the Grand Prix. Oh, that's failed. Never mind. I don't think anything will have changed. Let's have a little look at the standings. So, yeah, those two, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Renault. I think all that's the same, so, yeah. Doesn't look like there's been any driver transfers yet. Maybe somebody like us has to move until that's triggered or whatever, but you can certainly see some progress this season, you know. 3 out of the 4 races. We finished in the top 12, which is brilliant, and we've got Spain coming up next, which is always quite a nice track to drive. So if you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. Really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for regular F1 2019 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.